What's good, everyone? This is Dr. Nee. Welcome to another episode of Docs Outside the Box. Listen, I got the co-host with the co-most. Who's that? What's that? Say your name.
I don't think the co-most is a thing, but I am Dr. Renee.
Who said you should sing your name? I don't understand this. Where is all just
Yeah.
yeah, don't quit your first job. But you are chilling in the nice studio back there. There's some nice digs over there for people who are watching on YouTube.
Yeah, man. We got the you got the new Charles. We good to go.
Acting like this is our Arsenio Hall show. So I am in a hotel right now. Obviously, you got all the stuff that you need, but I'm in a hotel because I'm doing locums, doing my thing, my trauma surgery thing.
Well, somebody got to pay the bills around here.
Yep. So listen, everyone, thank you so much for tuning in. I'm really excited that you guys are here. I've been on my grind. I've been really busy. I just got back from California after seeing one of my good friends get married. And I think we're gonna have to do a separate episode on this, but just low key, I went to this wedding. My friend is a very popular as well as very successful dermatologist in the Los Angeles area. As a matter of fact, he works in Beverly Hills, has some very high-end clients.
Yeah. Beverly Hills.
Yeah, the wedding was in Bel Air. So I literally was like trying to knock
Fresh Prince?
I was literally trying to knock on every door, like trying to do this.
You're shaking your head like the Fresh Prince.
Yo. Oh my goodness. Yo, first of all, I pulled in. It's a gated community. Drove up, parked my rental car at what do you call it, valet. Walked in to this nice like mansion, what have you. It was beautiful. Flowers everywhere. There's like red velvet. What do you call those things? The barrier, so you can't go to, the ropes, so you can't go to certain places. Walk through and there's like huge like statues and picturesque like figure. It's beautiful, gorgeous.
Sound like money.
Yeah. I walk outside and I see my friend and his wife, they're taking pictures. And I'm just like, just enjoying the whole thing. And we go to another place, which is like a greenhouse. Mm-hmm. And the greenhouse has been converted into like a reception area. And you can eat, there's sushi, anything that you want is there. There's a DJ, bowling alley, whatever, everything is in there.
Right? Bowling alley?
I'm teasing. But everything that you want is there. Right. And there's people, there's servers who are around. They're very nice, and so forth. And I'm just meeting his whole family and meeting the bride's family. It was really nice. And then we moved.
Was it really nice, Nee?
It was dope. This shit was dope. And we're gonna have to put explicit on this episode. Shit was dope. So then the wedding ceremony begins, and I've never been to a Jewish wedding before. And it was really interesting. It was very nice. Just a lot of tradition. Very nice, beautiful ceremony.
Yeah.
And, they're dancing. Everything is going great. They're in marital bliss and everything. And I'm just like, everything that you want in a wedding is there. They got drones and everything.
What?
So I meet this lawyer who is a friend of him, of the groom, and they used to live together. And this lawyer is very well connected in the entertainment world. So anyway, he said, "Hey, let me give you a tour of this place, because like I don't think you got a chance to see, like there's an area where you can get desserts." I'm like, "Oh yeah, let's go get some desserts, right?" Because I don't know anybody else here except for my friend.
Right.
So he gives me a tour and takes me to where there's desserts, and it's like this huge kitchen that's beautiful. Everything, the service there, and it's got all this. Everything is just so nice and beautiful. Then he's like, "Yeah, let me take you to this other part. Let me take you to this part." And I'm like, "Yo, this is really," and I said to him, I said, "This is really dope. Like, this is so nice that like you can rent these houses to have a wedding." And he looks back at me. He's like, "This is where the bride lives." And I'm like, "Yo, what?" Yo, this place looks like
her house.
This place looks like a damn hotel, yo. It was nice. I was like, yo, yeah, my friend really, he got that. He got that. So I was, I was like, yo, I felt so small at that point, but I was like, way to go. But it was a great wedding. It was a great wedding. But the reason I want to do another episode on it is because just meeting everyone there was this expectation of wealth, right? Not an expectation of success, but an expectation of wealth, which is something I've really never been around before. I've never experienced that before. I've experienced being around people who want to be successful, they expect this and so forth. But there's a distinct difference between that and an expectation of wealth.
Right. Right. Yeah, that's really interesting that you kind of distinguish the two because they aren't necessarily one and the same, right? I mean, success, oftentimes we think about somebody kind of working hard to get to a certain point, whereas wealth is, okay, you just have, right? Like you have an abundance of money, assets, something. And that doesn't necessarily mean that you worked hard to get it. It could also mean that, it was passed down to you or whatever. So they're not, they're not always one in the same. They can be mutually exclusive. So yeah, I'm interested to talk about that on another episode.
Yeah, I'm really interested in talking about that too. So listen, we got an agenda for this show. We want to keep this short and sweet and to the point. But listen, we got to give props to the people who write in because I think that it's really important when people take the time to leave us a review. So we got some Apple podcast reviews over the last several weeks that we need to give props to. But let's talk about one right now. You ready to jump into this?
Yep.
So this one is from Growth Dividends. Once again, Growth Dividends. And it says, these episodes are very inspiring and helpful no matter the stage of your journey in medicine, or if you're just a casual listener who isn't in medicine. Dr. Nee, his wife who co-hosts at times, Dr. Renee, who also has her own podcast specifically for pre-meds, and their guest talk about real life situations and news with medicine and the world. Great show. Growth Dividends. That was a really nice review. 5-star review too.
Thank you. Appreciate it. Appreciate you.
So listen, one thing that people don't know is, so when you guys leave a review on Apple iTunes or Apple Podcasts, I'm talking like it's 2019. Listen, when you guys leave a review,
you obsolete.
The only thing that I see is just your name and your review. There's no way for me to get in contact with you to thank you other than just talking on the show. So listen, whoever left this review, Growth Dividends, make sure you write into me at Dr. Nee at drneedarko.com and let me know you wrote this so that I can send you some memorabilia, whether it's a t-shirt or whatever it is that we got in stock. Dr. Renee is showing off the docs outside the box. We're going to be revamping some things, but let us know.
Yeah, we need to revamp this one.
So we know what's going on, all right? But thank you so much for leaving a 5-star review. We also got an email.
Ooh, y'all are jumping on here, huh?
Yeah, someone left us an email based off of the podcast of Your Life is Not a Board Examination. That was an episode where I just was talking about, I think I just popped off. I was just talking about how you got to stop, at least for us in medicine or us in healthcare, we kind of continuously delay our lives until we're ready to, until we get our degrees. I did that. Right.
I know you did that. Right? I did that too.
Right. You delay everything, getting married, at least I did, or doing anything significant in your life until
Don't worry, I wasn't going to marry you before you finished your residency. Definitely not before I finished mine.
Good thing, because I wasn't ready. Well, at least I thought I wasn't ready. Right. So I did that episode, and apparently we got a lot of downloads off of that. So I'm going to read this email.
He wasn't ready, y'all.
I'm going to read this email from Brett. It says, I love this podcast. It spoke to me and my journey and why I still enjoy medicine and my patients and my life. Yeah, I've had to create my own practice and my own experience in medicine as much as I've chosen my wife, my home, and created my amazing, blessed life. Bravo. I hope your words can inspire many of the cynical, burnout, unhappy physicians in medicine today. Brett.
Oh,
that's what I'm talking about.
That's nice.
You know what that makes me want to do? It makes me want to do this. Mm-hmm. 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 So I'm talking about, Brett. I want everybody leave us a review
That
just
was
like
a
that.
Wolf of Wall Street for those of y'all who didn't know.
If you don't know, you need to know. Go see that movie, Wolf of Wall Street. That's how I live my life.
Don't
Every day.
watch it with your kids.
That's how I live my life.
Don't watch it with your kids.
But we got Brett's email actually here, so we're gonna send him some memorabilia. But Brett, thank you so much for writing that email. It really meant a lot to me. It helps me to continue to put things out there. So thank you. Dope, dope, dope. So everybody, listen, leave us some reviews on Apple Podcasts if you don't have the ability to do that, i.e. anybody who doesn't have an iPhone. Hopefully you didn't get the iPhone 13. You heard how I feel about that already. If you have an Android phone, you can also leave a review on Stitcher Radio, or you could just send us an email, or you can just reach out to us on Instagram and let us know what's going on. All right, there's plenty of ways you can reach out to us. Now, this question is going to be an interesting one. It says, hi, Dr. Nee. I've been listening to your podcast and gaining inspiration for quite some time. Thank you for creating this outlet that has taught me how to invest, own my career, and cultivate an entrepreneurial spirit. I do feel like I know you, and so I wanted to ask if you knew of any physician job coaches. My husband is an excellent pain medicine doctor, but he's an FMG, foreign medical grad, from Zimbabwe. I feel strongly that his opportunities are limited by his foreign name, accent, and skin color. We're looking for him to rebrand in the Deep South where we currently work. Do you know of any physician job coaches? Thank you so much for reading this. I always appreciate your professional advice. Regards, Dr. Desiree. What are your thoughts? You want to jump on this first?
Well, I mean, we know that being an FMG or IMG, however you want to call it, can be a very challenging thing. You recently actually interviewed Dr. Is it Nina Loom?
Yeah, Dr. Nina
Right?
Loom. Yep.
Yeah, Dr. Nina Loom, who she herself, is an FMG. And I don't know if she's up for this challenge, but this might be somebody who would at least reach out to her, follow her on social media and see potentially what she might have to offer. So, yeah.
So I don't know of any physician job coaches out there specifically, but I definitely think that Dr. Nina Loom, she calls herself the IMG coach. I think that she possibly can offer some help in this manner. So, look, as a pain doctor, I can definitely see you doing well, particularly if you're in the South, right? Because the South is one of those areas that have been ravaged by the opioid epidemic and all those different things. But I definitely think it doesn't hurt to brand yourself a certain way. Mm-hmm. In terms of your skin color, I don't know what you're gonna do about that. We can't change it. We can't change our skin color. But and even the foreign name and the accent, I think you just have to double down on those things, right? And that's my thought. I think you have to double down on those things and realize that, how can we use this to your advantage as opposed to your disadvantage? And I think definitely contacting Dr. Nina, she definitely can give you the ways in which she's been able to do it. She's excellent at that. But I also think that we're in a new day. We're in a new age. I think social media is really huge. I would definitely suggest jumping on social media, creating an Instagram account, creating, some other accounts where you can showcase, maybe even some testimonials from your patients, showcase some education, where you're educating your patients or educating people on all the different things related to pain addiction or to pain medicine.
Yeah, I think you're absolutely right. The one thing that I noted about this question is that sometimes we want to do something, but we find all the reasons that it's going to be hard to do, and not necessarily look at the things that we have working in our favor. And I think you mentioned those things, right? I mean, obviously he's, highly educated. He's a physician who obviously knows about pain management, pain medicine. And that for me, I think, is a strength, right? Not everybody is in that field. And we know that is a very much growing field. So yeah, I would do like Dr. Nee said, contact Dr. Nina Loom, and then do all the other things, social medias, webinars, build up your base and see what it is that, what it is that's going to attract people about what you do, and don't necessarily so much focus on, who you are, right? When you first walk into the room, that nobody knows exactly who you are, because if you're worried about your skin color and your name, there literally is nothing that you can do. Well, I guess you could change your name, but I would not suggest that. But there's nothing really that you can do about those things right now immediately.
I mean, even in the
So
north,
just
when I walk into certain areas, people are like, "You're not from around here, right?" So you can
right,
imagine in the south, like it's going to stand out. So I think
yeah,
there's nothing you can do about that, but just
yeah,
double down on that and say, "Hey,
yep,
I come from here.
exactly.
Here's my training. This is my resume. Check me out on Instagram or TikTok."
Ooh,
You know,
TikTok. First of all, let me tell you, TikTok is huge right now. Like, if you are, a doctor who can showcase anything whatsoever, TikTok is the way to go.
TikTok makes it
The
rock.
way to go. TikTok. Yep. You could do one of those. I got pain. Boom. I got this. Boom. I got that. Boom. Like, all those pointing things. So, yeah.
So, Dr. Desiree, I would say my recommendation is to call or to get in contact with Dr. Nina Loom. She was episode 241. She was episode 241. Make sure you check her out and listen to what she has to say. But I definitely think she can definitely help you in this situation. But either way, Dr. Desiree, thank you so much for being a listener to Docs Outside the Box. Thank you for shooting in this question. And we definitely wish you and your husband the best. And make sure you
Yeah.
put in that pain medicine money in your investment account. VTSAX.
Yes.
VTSAX. Don't buy that Apple 13 phone. Sucks. It doesn't suck. It's actually a good phone. All right, so Renee, we got some updates. Let's give them a little update on our first ever property. It's a 6-unit property in Pennsylvania. Oof, bring them up to speed.
Well, there is a lot of stuff going on with this first property. So there is a lot going on with this first property. As you might know, let me just catch you up to speed really quickly. We bought this property as of November of 2020. And so far, we have had one person move out. We have another person who is not quite paying us right now. We have a renovation going on in the unit where the person is moving out. It is a 6-unit. It's a 6-unit property. And so, yeah, we also had to fire our first property manager.
Boom.
Yeah, like 4 months into it. So we ended up firing her, I think, in February? And
I think it's actually
'cause
earlier than that, January, actually.
we gave her notice, I think, in January. Yeah, you're right. And she went through February because we had to give her 30 days. And then we started with the new property manager in March of 2021. So, yeah, that's kind of, the down and dirty up to speed. What else would you like to know, Dr. Nee?
No,
I'm sure there's lots.
So why did we decide to fire her?
Well, she kind of had a way of doing things that I think we both felt would end up putting a lot of liability on us as landlords. She was very much a tenant pleaser, and she wanted to just do stuff so that the tenants would like her. For example, we had a couple of tenants who lived in one unit, and they insisted on putting, just all kinds of garbage and stuff on the back staircase, which actually serves as a fire staircase. And it was a fire hazard. It literally was a fire hazard. And she just, was like, oh, well, they're Section 8. So, let's not try to get them upset. I'm like, okay, but if somebody trips and falls and busts their head open, who's responsible for that? Oh, wait, that would be us. Okay. So, yeah, I didn't like that. I didn't like that at all. And there was just a couple of other things that she did that I just knew. I was like, you know what? This is not going to work because she's just too, she's so tenant friendly. I don't mind being tenant friendly, but I do mind, giving us liability that we don't need. And that was a problem for me and for you.
Yeah.
So we ended up firing her. And at first it was amicable. You know, it was like, okay, you know, you do things the way that you do things, and we just don't do things that way. You know me, I'm a firm believer in sometimes things just don't work out. You know, they just don't work out. And it's okay. It doesn't have to be like, oh my God, I can't believe you did that. You know, it was very amicable. And we even considered that should the time come that we would have a vacancy, that we would even use her for the vacancy to fill it. And
because she not only
she
is a
does
property
that.
manager, but she also helps people find places also.
Exactly. So we considered that, like, okay, well, you know, maybe not, you know, maybe your property management skills aren't what we are looking for, but perhaps, you know, you can help us find a tenant. Not a problem. And then it went south. What she did.
Yeah, you tell her what happened.
You want me to tell it? I got to tell the whole story.
Yeah.
So anyway, when the time came for her to transfer things over to us and to the new property manager, we contacted her and said, hey, listen, this is, you know, the new, oh no, actually I contacted her and asked her, what is the process, so that I could know what to expect, what to do for the new property manager that was coming on. She said she would gladly give the keys to the new property manager. I said, great. I gave her the address. Good to go. And the new property manager ends up calling me or contacting me and is like, yeah, we never got those keys. And it was about like 10 days into the new property manager taking over the property. She's like, yeah, I never got those keys. So I contact the old property manager and she's like, oh, well, there's a bill that needs to be paid for $125. And so I'll be holding on to the keys until I get that bill paid. And that's when I went ballistic, because I was like, is she really trying to hold our keys hostage for a bill that technically I know we already paid? We already paid that bill. So she's trying to hold our keys hostage. And so I was done with her. I went, you know me, I'm the contract queen. I went to that contract and I was like, first of all, you gonna tell me where it says that you can hold on to our keys because we got an unpaid bill. That's number one. Number two, you gonna tell me why you charging me this bill when I know I paid this bill previously. Because I got from your report here, this bill is paid.
And then she went back and looked and found out that bill was a duplicate.
Exactly. Which says to me, oh, so you are not checking the actual bills, because see, you would have charged us twice for the same bill had I not made a big stink about it. So you're not organized. Yet another problem with her. She was very, very disorganized. Wrote us an email back basically saying that she's trying to clean out her car. She would love to give the keys to the new property manager because she's trying to clean out all the clutter in her car. I'm like, what are my keys doing in your car? Why are my keys in your car? Like, I don't understand this.
Yeah. Yeah, so we had to let her go. But long story short is we let her go, and you know, despite the fact that one of our tenants is moving out, another tenant is refusing to pay, and we're going through a renovation in the back unit, which is almost basically an entire house. We're still excited about this. This is really still dope. And despite all of this stuff, it doesn't matter. Like, we still are going to go after a new property. Right?
Yeah.
And I think the key things are, you know, we know that we prepared ourselves that there were going to be bumps, there was going to be detours throughout this process, but we still want to expand. So, you know, I was actually listening to Bigger Pockets and I heard of this company called Awning. Mm-hmm. And Brandon Turner was talking about Awning is really great for people who are really busy, like busy professionals who are looking for properties. And I was like, I'm going to take a listen to them. So I know you
busy.
Yeah, I know you listen to them also. But I know for us, we're trying to expand. We want to move, or we want to find some place that's, maybe not in Pennsylvania, definitely not in New Jersey. For us, New Jersey is a little too high cost of living for us to do the things that we want to do in terms of getting some property. So for us, the issue is that we work, right? We're busy. We also obviously have kids. We podcast. We're podcasting right now at 10 o'clock, almost 11 o'clock at night, and we're tired. We're tired. And
So very tired.
yeah. So I think that after I heard that commercial, after we did some research in awning, we wanted to look to see if there's a way we can be smarter with this, if there's a way we can, move technology with real estate. And I think that's what awning is all about. So, right now they have markets in various areas of the United States. The areas that we're really concerned about, that we are really excited about that they are in, are Tennessee, Florida, Texas, and Alabama. And actually right now, I think based off of our goals, what we're looking at mainly is Texas, and we're also interested in Alabama. So
yeah. So I mean, for me, I think definitely being that busy, with the 2 kids, the 2 businesses, working, traveling, I'm like, it would be nice to be able to just go like be on HGTV and House Hunters.
yeah,
But we really don't have time for that. And awning, really gives a good option, for people like us, busy doctors who might, may not necessarily have the same life that we have, but maybe, in the hospital a lot or in clinic a lot, and they still want to build some sort of real estate empire. I think, it's something that we should definitely try. So, yeah.
Well, the thing for me is, so we obviously want to do multifamily. And right now, awning is only doing single family rentals right now. But I think that it's worth a shot. I think it's worth a shot because I think, obviously single family rentals really have a big positive upside. For us, I think the thing that we're having an issue with multifamilies is the splitting of utilities, right? That can be an issue. I'm not saying it's a bad thing, but that could be an issue. So I think I think it's good for our portfolio to have a mix and match of multifamily as well as single family. And obviously awning really focusing right now on single family. That's the direction that we're going to be heading in right now.
Yeah, for me, honestly, like I actually did want to try our hand at single family only because of what you just mentioned about the expenses and just having to, worry about, okay, well, was this bill paid? Are these people, just running their water like crazy? So, I think the single family rental right now for me is very attractive because then we don't have to worry about those things. That's up to the tenant. Like, you want to run your water? Great. You pay your bill. I'm not paying it. So.
Right. Well, the one thing that for me, I'm really skeptical. I was like, all right, well, this is great. Technology meets real estate and all that stuff. So, the next thing is, well, how is it that they're making their money? But actually, they only make money on the commission of the sale. That's it.
Yeah. Kind of like a regular real estate agent. Yeah.
So
and it's pretty
cool
interesting.
I'm cool with that. As long as that, I like that. And then the other thing there's a bunch of things that I like about it, but the big things for me is that they help you with education, right? Because I think a lot of people are like, well, there's so many things that you got to understand. You got to understand NOI, net operating income, and you got to understand the 1% rule and all these different things. So they help you with that. They also identify the properties for you, which is something I'm like, okay, and then they also help with the purchasing, the transaction, right?
Right.
So they are a brokerage. They help the customers actually like with the transaction afterwards. So this is really interesting. Interesting. So we've run numbers with them and the numbers actually correlate.
Yeah.
Right. Which is something that I was like, all right, well, we'll run our numbers and I'm sure there's going to be a big difference, but they actually correlate. So this is something that I'm actually really interested in. I think everybody who's interested in real estate and want to know the direction that we're going to go in next, you may want to listen to several episodes where we kind of talk about awning a little bit more.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm really excited to try them. I've been on their app. It's actually really easy to navigate. Like you said, they kind of choose, houses for you, properties for you, just kind of based on the conversation that you have with them. So what I like about it is not just the app where you just go on there and then you're like, oh, okay, you don't get to talk to anybody. You actually do get to talk to someone.
Yeah, you have a meeting. You have a live, actual virtual meeting.
Yeah. Yeah, they onboard you, and so you're able to to talk to someone, tell them what you're looking for, tell them what your priorities are, and then they start choosing properties for you. And then, like Nee said, for each property, they literally have numbers, and then you can play with the numbers while you're on the app. If you decide, oh, I'm going to put down a bigger down payment or a smaller down payment. What if I raised the rent? What if I lowered the rent? What if I, all kinds of things. And it's great because then you don't have to take the time to go to a different calculator, put in that number, blah, 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 all that stuff. So for me, I'm like, man, if you're going to,
we're
really
using
busy.
we're using the calculators from Bigger Pockets.
Yes.
And we correlate
to
them.
compare.
That's the key thing. Like, we're using those numbers. That's the calculator that we use, and they work.
Yeah.
And then we also
compare.
use Kenji and Letty's course,
Right.
Zero to Freedom. Was it Zero to what?
Zero to Freedom.
Yeah, Zero to Freedom course. We did their course, and that's what helped us buy our first property. And we use that calculator. It correlates.
Yeah. So we did a comparison of the numbers because, for us, that was important, right? We wanted to make sure that the numbers were good. And so at the time that I think at one point we compared Dr. Kenji and Dr. Letty's calculator with Bigger Pockets, and then those numbers matched up. And then this time we were able to compare the numbers with Awning, and then those numbers matched up as well. So we said, let's give it a try.
We'll see how it goes.
So yeah.
We'll see how it goes. We're going to do a Darko real estate series and see how it goes. So
yeah. I think that's going to be really interesting, actually. Buying your property online.
Yeah.
Like, we're not going to see this property.
Yeah, and it's not turnkey, but we'll see how it works, and then we'll go from there. So, but let's move on. Let's move on because we got to keep this quick, right? So the NBA season starts tonight. I got my picks. I know you're not that big into basketball, but you watch what I watch because I tell you what to watch, right?
I like the ball bouncing. Orange ball bounce, put in hoop, make points.
My picks for the year, everyone, I'm putting it on wax. So I got the Nets or the Bucks coming from the East, and I got the Lakers coming from the West, and I got the Lakers winning the NBA championship.
I see how you hating on the Nets, and I know why.
Yo, we need to do an episode on that guy. That guy. Which guy?
That guy.
Which
that
guy? That
you know
guy.
Who.
We know who. Starts with a K and also with an I. That guy.
AI.
Kyrie. But let's move on before we make this episode into...
You don't want to talk about Kyrie real quick? Just real quick.
No, I won't talk about Kyrie. Kyrie gets my... there's one person right now in Los Angeles who's sipping tea like, I told y'all motherfuckers. I told y'all about Kyrie. I told y'all about him. And nobody want to listen.
Oh, my goodness.
And last time I talked about the iPhone 13 with Apple, listen, everybody, I stand by that choice, which is if you have an iPhone 12 or 11 or 10, I don't know if it's that big of a recommendation to go to the 13. I would say hold off on that and go from there. But a couple days ago, yesterday, Apple put out their new MacBooks. Ooh, Lord. Everyone, I'm telling you right now, the way in which we do computers, the way in which we use computers, the way in which we compute, all of that's going to change.
The way in which we compute?
I'm serious. Apple is not joking.
1 + 1, carry the 1.
Yo, Apple, it's seriously that different. Apple, like last year, Apple came out with the M1 chip. They made their own chip. It's their own silicon, and they're not using Intel anymore. And they made this event, and they were basically just bragging about how much better their chip is compared to Intel. Everybody knows what an Intel chip is. And everybody's like, yeah, it's BS. Until people tried it and saw that it was like way better than using the same laptop with an Intel chip in there. The M1 chip is way faster. Like, you have one right now, right?
Is that what I have?
Yeah, you have one right now. The battery lasts longer. I'm sure you know.
Yes.
The battery lasts way longer and it's way more powerful. You don't realize it because you don't do much stuff on it. Apple just came out with the M1X and the M1 Pro and the M1 Max, which is like 70% faster than even the laptop that you have right now. They are going to change the entire computer scene right now. And my recommendations is if you're looking for a laptop right now and you are looking within the PC realm, I say hold off. Don't get a PC. Don't get one right now.
What?
Yeah, don't buy one right now.
Darko?
Yeah, because the Intel, anything that, well, no, if you're looking for a PC if you're looking for a PC or a laptop, don't buy an Intel based chip. Buy an AMD chip. If you buy an Intel chip, you're buying old architecture that's going to have to be, in my opinion, it's going to be obsolete. It's already obsolete right now. And that's why I haven't bought a new laptop yet. I'm still using this Dell 2016 laptop with an Intel Core i5 that is struggling right now. But Apple is not playing. They are, I mean, if everything turns out from this keynote to be true, you might, as everybody who is going to buy an Intel based chip, don't do it. Just throw it out in the trash. It's a waste of money. I'm serious. It's crazy.
Yeah, well, I think you need to be very transparent with your audience and tell them what other computer you're using right now.
Well, I'm using your
Mr.
old
Apple hater.
Well, I'm using your old Apple laptop that got broke, and we got it refurbished.
Old. I bought it last year.
Yeah, but it's broken and it has an Intel chip in it. So I don't see it as any type of. I'm not saying that laptop is better than this laptop that I have, this 2016. It's a little bit faster because it's a newer chip, but I don't think it's that much better. So I mean,
yeah, but I did need to hate on you because you are anti-Apple guy.
I am.
If there were a campaign against Apple, you would be at the front of the line. Like, no. Like Apple products, no. And now you are the Apple man.
That's not true because I'm not using the iPhone. We only use the iPhone for video.
Oh, wait, hold on a second. But you did buy an iPhone.
Yeah, but I used iPhone that I use for social media and that I use to
whether
use for
it's
video.
used or not. No,
it's
man.
not my daily driver.
It doesn't matter. But listen,
this is my show. Don't turn the reins on this. This is my show, all right? So listen.
There's a coup going on. It's a mutiny on a bounty
I recommend the Apple laptops. I'm telling you right now, just those tests are going to start coming out. People are going to be using them real time, and I definitely recommend it. And it's dope. So if I were you, I would not get anything related to Intel. Wait, or just get an AMD powered chip. They're out there. And that's all I got to say. And then Google Pixel came out today. It's dope, but I'm going to wait. I'm not going to get a new Pixel for a while because I have a Pixel 5. I'm really happy with that. So if I get to the point where it is burning money or burning in my pocket, that money's burning in my pocket and I need to purchase something, I'm going to buy what?
An Apple. An iPhone.
I'm going to buy VTI
an iPhone
or
13.
VTSAX. All right, y'all. Listen, everyone, we're going to catch you guys on the next episode of Docs Outside the Box. We wanted to keep this one short and sweet and to the point. Listen, I appreciate everyone who wrote in to Growth Dividends, as well as to Dr. Brett, as well as to Dr. Desiree. We appreciate you writing in. And guys, we're going to catch you all on the next episode of Docs Outside the Box. Peace.
Peace.